Welcome, everyone, to the 100th episode of Think Your Way to an Epic Life. And it's really exciting. We've gone back over our last 99 episodes and asked the very best of the best to give us answers to a couple questions. I think you will find the information in here absolutely invaluable. And it's just quick hits from lots and lots of different people. Enjoy. I'll see you at the end. So, Bill McCoy, what is some of the best advice you've ever received?
The best I received and followed my entire career was surround yourself with people that are better than you are and let them run. That's why they're there.
I love that. So that involves letting go of a little bit of ego?
A little bit, for heaven's sakes. That was an understatement.
So how do you do that? How do you let go of the ego and just say, hey, look, you're better at this than me. You handle it.
For me, it takes 2 or 3 tries at, okay, you made this decision. You onboarded this person for a reason. Let them do their thing. And the first 2 or 3 successes, Kara, they get much easier to let go of. There is no destination. Enjoy the journey.
So, Carmen, what's some of the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice that I've been given in my life was when I was young. My mother told me whenever we fall in life, we have to get back up. And she not only told that to me, she also helped me analyze that in an experience in life as I was learning how to ride my bike. I obviously, was nervous and scared. I fell. And I didn't want to get back on, but she forced me. She's like, you're going to get back on because this is going to be part of life. And so I'm grateful that I did and that I got back on because after that I was having fun. And even in that situation, I've been able to incorporate that in my life, and be able to, when I fail or when I've fallen, in things that have been thrown at me through life, I just remember that and just know that I have to get back up again and keep on going.
So some of the best advice I've ever received is really that we only have control over 2 things. The first thing is what we make things mean. And the second thing is how we respond.
I guess the big thing is to keep learning, lifelong learning. It sounds like a Facebook or an Instagram meme or a cliche, but it's real. And we have so much information coming at us. It's also learning the right things that fit your lifestyle. If your career, it'd be like your career, what's the best information you can learn in that lane? And also with the learning, what are you giving back to share with people? So it's a reciprocal relationship. You're learning, but you should also be giving out to those and those that want to hear it or that will pay you for your expertise, not preaching at people, but those that genuinely have an open mind and want to hear your viewpoints or your knowledge. So keep lifelong learning as a major priority.
Dream bigger than you think you should, and don't let anyone talk you out of something that you think would be great. Because at the end of the day, no one really knows what's going to work or not. We're all just here trying to figure things out.
I've been given a lot of really good advice, but the one that really stands out is from John Robbins. He's the author of Diet for a New America, which is literally what transformed and set off the trajectory of my life and my career and everything because it connected diet with health, the animals, and the environment. And it was the first book ever to do that. So I had the privilege of working with him later on after he completely changed my life, like many years later. And it was such an honor to meet him. And I ended up being the executive director of Earth Save International. And we were sitting at an event that we were doing. We were doing this amazing transformation program at a food bank in Sacramento. And he had a line of people waiting to sign his books. And I remember asking him, I'm like, how are you so prolific? As an author too, I wanted to know how he was so amazing because I had just written like probably 1 or 2 books at the time. And he said, the pen's called Bic? And I said, yes. He says, butt in chair. Just sit down and start writing. I'm like, that was brilliant.
Wash your face and try again.
That's awesome. I love that.
Well, that's actually advice that I give to my daughter all the time. But it was advice that was given to me when I was a teenager. Like when you're upset, when you're overwhelmed, when you feel like you're caving in, just wash your face and start over. You don't have to wait until Monday to start over. You don't have to wait until the next day to have a fresh start. Like you literally can start over at any time in your day, any time in your week. If you feel like you need a reset, just do what you need to do to set the reset button. So when Bethany was little and she was growing up, I would tell her to go wash her face and come back and try again. And so now she's almost 19, and it was a few weeks ago we were on the phone and I said, okay, go wash your face and call me back. And she's like, yes, ma'am.
Tough times don't last and tough people do. That's something that has always resonated with me with my parents. They have always coached me to get back up when things get hard in life. And right now where I am in life, and really quite frankly where I've been, I've had a lot of loss and a lot of hard things happen. And just me being able to get back up and understand that I am one step stronger for just moving forward instead of sitting and being stagnant, even though sometimes we all want to quit. But knowing and understanding that it's that moment we quit, then we probably just gave up something pretty incredible on the other side. Because every time we go through those hard things, I believe there's a blessing or something that's there to meet me on the other side that will make me a better person.
The best advice I ever received was that time in my life when I was trying to decide to leave my job in academia to become a hypnotherapist. And that felt really risky and scary at the time. And I remember hearing from a close friend who said, you just need to believe it. You need to step into it and be it. Live as if you're already a hypnotherapist. And I don't know why, but that advice just floored me. I was like, yes. And I shifted my thinking and I stepped right into myself, and I embodied a hypnotherapist long before I actually stepped into it professionally. And I believe that was a big part of my success, was really already being it before I made the decision to do it. And so when I did, it was easy. Don't try to be somebody that others want you to be, and don't live to the societal norms, but step into who you are and pay attention to your passions and your energy and what drives you. And when you step into living your truth, I think you can be successful in just about everything.
One of the best advice that I ever received is just do it. Because every successful person has encountered failures, but as long as you learn from them and strive to improve every day, you will continue to grow. Step out of your comfort zone. It can be intimidating, but it will help you to lead to some of the most rewarding experiences and personal growth.
One of the biggest pieces of advice that had a chain effect to affecting many other parts of my life was, and it's an easy piece of advice, but it's surrounding yourself with who you want to become, right? So if you surround yourself with a bunch of people that aren't in a good place right now, or they're always down their luck, well, then you're always going to be down your luck and always having negativity too. And I always monitor people that I've hung out with over time. Like, well, every time I talk to you, hey, how's it going? Well, this isn't doing too good. This isn't doing great, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to start, not diving so much into them. And I'm not saying to like tell your friends like, hey, I can't talk to you anymore because you're unlucky. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But what I would recommend to the audience, whoever's watching this, is to choose who you're hanging out with very wisely going forward, because it has such a big impact. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of failed entrepreneurs, well, you're probably not being a successful entrepreneur either. So you want to keep that in mind too. And I think people get confused with the first part of that, is they just want to hang out with like-minded individuals. I'm trying to hang out with people who are already where I'm trying to get to. Not people that also want to get to this spot, but people that are already there. So I think that's an important part you need to remember. Are you hanging out with people who are already there, or a bunch of people that want to be there that haven't gone there yet? And if a lot of people, I bet you're in the same boat, if you're in that boat, make sure you start recognizing that, and don't, it doesn't have to be cold turkey overnight, but start hanging out with those people that are at that spot you're trying to get to. Because I'm telling you, when the more you hang out with them, the more you see the daily things they go through, the stresses, the victories, the losses, all of it, you'll start to get used to what that tempo looks like, and you could hop on that tempo much more faster to get to that level.
When you fail or you fall down, you just get right back up. We are all going to fail in life. That's guaranteed. We are all going to fall down. The best advice is to learn from your mistakes, take what you can out of the failure and grow and do better, get back up, do better, be better, but it's okay to fail. Every day, invest in yourself, grow, keep learning, listen to podcasts, read books, be around influential people, be around the people that you want to be like, and just keep growing and investing in yourself. You're never going to know everything, and you're never going to know enough.
Choose what is more important, the need to be right or your peace. And, like I had a really strong desire for peace, but that need to be right is wrapped up in our identity, like if I was right, then that kind of meant I was safe, I was validated. And really, like, anytime I was wrong, it kind of felt like danger was round the corner almost. It's really, really bizarre, actually, how strong the need to be right was. And to kind of have a sense of self wrapped up in that, I'm clever, I'm, intelligent, I'm, just good at life, if you like. And so letting go of this need to be right has been very liberating, I suppose you might say, but also so much more enjoyable, because when you can laugh at yourself, when you can let go of that need, and I remember there being a point in time, and it's not just the need to be right, it's also the need for life to look a certain way, and I remember there being this car parked across our driveway, and I was just biting on it. I was just like, what happens if I need to go? I didn't need to go out. But it was almost like, what happens if I need to go out, or they're in the way, and why are they so inconsiderate? And all of this dialogue that was going on in my head. And my husband kind of fed back to me the stuff I'm putting out all the time. And he just went, what's more important, your peace or that person parked across the driveway? And I'm like, ooh, ooh, okay, you got me. And just in that moment, I just like, right, you're right, peace. So it's just like making that choice in any given moment. What do you want? Do you want to be right? Do you want things to look a certain way? Or do you want peace? And I think when you make it that simple, you keep going for peace. And it's so much easier to go for something than it is to kind of move away from an experience. Like if you try and change your life, fix life, make it better, I think you kind of are always dragging with you the thing that you want to get rid of. So for me to just go, right, peace, I want peace. It's such a powerful, choice to make in the moment. And for me, that just makes life really simple, really clear. And you go for it because it's a bit of a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
Trade your expectation for appreciation and your whole world transforms. It's almost like flipping a switch in your mind. And when you can come from a place of gratitude, it changes how you view even some of the toughest moments in your life. And I think gratitude is extremely powerful because you cannot feel grateful and afraid at the same time, and you cannot feel grateful and angry at the same time. So I think that, what you focus on is what you attract more of into your life. So if you're constantly focusing on the negative, you're only going to invite more of that into your life. But, obviously life is definitely not easy all the time, and it can definitely throw you some curveballs. But even in those challenges, finding just one tiny little thing that you can be grateful for in that moment, it's something that you can hold on to and get you through whatever that situation is.
What does an epic life mean to you?
I think an epic life is filled with loving, caring, challenging, and rewarding relationships, coupled with the resources that are adequate to let you have options. And that's really the root to me. There's not a whole lot left to that. I'm blessed over nearly 5 decades in business of having a tremendous network of friends, many of them loving, many of them caring, many of them challenging, but all fulfilling. And after years of hard work, I can make choices. And I'm not constrained by how much money do I have in the bank or any of that, to within reason. So it's the relationships and the resources to, dare I say, do what I want.
Wow. Okay, an epic life. This one's, to me, I'd say living an epic life is to be able to have purpose and to be driven, to have fun, to live adventures, to live out your passion, and to be able to leave an impact, a meaningful impact in life, and to create legacy in whatever we do.
My definition of an epic life is one where you're discovering your unique gifts and talents, and you're using those gifts and talents to relieve suffering, making the world a better place in any way any shape or form. If you're doing that, you're living an epic life, in my opinion.
No regrets or few regrets. So when you get to the end of if you have a long and productive life, and people say the deathbed scene where you're reflecting back, you can hopefully look back on your life and go, wow, I did a lot of things I set out to do, and I had few, if any, regrets.
My definition of an epic life would be going through life, overcoming obstacles, serving God, serving others, and starting a family.
I love this question so much. It's so beautiful. And it's evolved over the decades for me. I would say right now where I am in this day is the gratitude. It's this epic life means staying in gratitude. And it's hard to, not get lost and swept up in the stress or things that come up in life. But I've been through a lot. I've had a long roller coaster throughout my life. And it always comes back to now I really understand that if I could just be grateful for right now and just really try to get present and grounded, it changes everything for me. And so when I look with this lens of gratitude at my life, it means being, in joy and taking time, and the connections in my life are everything. The most important thing to me are my connections and the people that I'm close to, and just connecting with clients and people like you. And I think to me, an epic life means staying connected, staying grateful, and staying grounded.
To me, living an epic life is freedom. It's freedom and generosity. It's freedom with your time. It's freedom with your finances. But I think the coolest part of building my epic life is that I have the freedom to choose who comes with me. And then I get to watch those people find freedom in their own epic lives. So knowing that, my director of operations gets to go do really cool stuff with her kids because of an opportunity in my organization, that fuels me. It fuels me to see my kids get to have opportunities that Justin and I didn't get to have growing up. And so freedom to me comes with the epic life.
An epic life to me is really being able to look back and have created a legacy and built leaders alongside of me. And that is so important to me because I want that to instill that in my children, that truly being epic is building, hundreds of thousands of leaders and being able to look back on my life and know that I made a massive impact. And I don't think it has, for me, anything to do with monetary gain, because there's so much more to gain from helping others and living an epic life.
An epic life is living fully, living authentically, every day doing something that you love, every day making a difference in the world, setting the intention to make the world a better place, finding joy in the smallest things, feeling gratitude for the smallest things, and just living your truth, living your authentic best life, and recognizing that you have this day, you have now, and now is all that you have. And what are you going to do to make the most of this big moment?
My definition of an epic life is constantly challenging yourself, following your passions with determination, embracing successes and failures for growth, and living authentically, making a positive impact on yourself and on others.
For me, it's to come on Sunday. This is a newer thing for me too, and I'm really grateful that I've hit this point in my life. But on Sunday, I'm excited for Monday because I know I'm growing and building something, and I can't tell you how exciting that is. If you ever bought a Lego set, if you ever bought a Lego set, right, and you're going to be building up a Lego set, it's fun and exciting to build it, and you can tangibly see it get created, and it turns into some cool creation. Well, in my life, the same thing is that every day I'm getting up to create create and build something and to make it better than it was last week. And there's something really beautiful about that. And it's being part of something bigger than what you are and leaving it better than you found it too. I'm a big believer in leaving stuff better than you found it. So to answer your question, the best way to live an epic life is to live a life to where you're excited for Monday. You're not excited just for the weekends. And don't get me wrong, like I'm excited for the weekends because I like to have fun and leisure too, as much as the next person. But I love what I do, and I love building and growing the business I have and growing and building the real estate team I have and the investments I have. Like I'm excited to chisel down and get a little bit more done every day. So if you can get your life to a point where you're at that spot, then I think that's really, really good.
So Shugi, my definition of an epic life starts with my spiritual growth. An epic life would be where I am spiritually connected in the best way, in the best relationship with our Heavenly Father. I'm just going to say that because that's what I believe in. My epic life would look like my kids and my family and my friends all doing well, but also be in a good spot in their life. And where I could also like help them and help them financially, help them with my time, help them with my services. My gift is serving people, and I would love to have the time where I could be with my grandkids and my kids and friends and family and just serve people on different levels, on a level of a personal serving where I'm showing acts of kindness and serving them in any way that they need it, taking care of them, picking up their groceries. I have a soft heart for the elderly and for children. And so an epic life would be where I had time to do that, where I could give financially as well. I would love to be able to just drop $10,000 in somebody's lap and say, hey, this is for your child's doctor bills, or this is so you can go buy a car because you just got in a car accident and you don't have money for a new car. So I would love to be able to bless that way. And lastly, with regards to my career, I would love to be in an epic situation where I am traveling and working part-time, and I have a amazing team that is taking care of business on the background, but that my husband and I could travel and work at the same time and be all over the place.
For me, it's living from presence, because so much of my life has been limited by the mind whispering, all these ideas, and they are just ideas. That's the thing for me. I think it was just so eye-opening when I realized that this voice was controlling my life, and limiting it as well, like we're literally limited to what our thoughts are whispering away in our mind. And so for me to be able to transcend that and live life from presence, that is the most epic life you can live. It's magnificent, it's alive, it's vibrant, it's full of possibilities and potential and joy. For me, discovering presence has just been so joyful, so light and easy. And so for me, if you want to live an epic life, you discover yourself, and that's all it is really. It's like the true self, pure awareness. We are all that anyway. It's just consciously recognizing that. And when you can do that, then you have the most amazing life.
I think for me, it's really just about having that ultimate freedom. I think it's a life that you live on your terms. One of the coolest things about it is that it's up to you. You have the power to choose the journey that you want to take in life, and it's a choice that you make every single day. You're not waiting on the sidelines for somebody else to come make it happen, but it's doing what excites you and living a life with, purpose, passion, being intentional with it. And I also think it's a journey of continual self-improvement where, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but you take everything as a lesson and you grow from it. Aside from that, for me, it's not about the material things. I think it's about adventure, a lot of adventure, experiences, relationships, serving others, and really just making a positive impact on the world around me.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with us. This is our 100th episode. We're super proud of it. We're super grateful to all the people who have contributed to the podcast up until this point. All of the guests that have given of their time. Ben Gutierrez, who had this brainchild of having a podcast. Everybody who's been involved and has helped us out in order to help you. The whole point of this is that you are the people that we have in mind. And we want to give you practical steps and real, genuine, tested and proven ways that you can take your life to the next level, that you can think your way to an epic life. And so I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment below. We'll be happy to answer your questions. I will be doing a lot of book reviews. So if you have a favorite book that you would like to see get reviewed on this podcast, put that in the comments too, and we will definitely respond to you. Thank you so much for all your support. Please share, subscribe, like, put comments, get involved with us. We really want you to feel that you're loved and supported by this podcast. So we appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll come out with episode 101 next week.